Coming up on this episode, we visit with Sonny Saucedo. Of course, he has had Grammy Award wins, 26 Tejano Awards, but he is doing the Texas country music thing. He has a new single out. He's going to talk about him and Sundance in the studio doing some stuff together, and just all in all, just getting to know the man with the accordion right here on the Texas Toast podcast.
Let's go.
So Sonny and I were talking before we came on, and he's just wondering, where in the heck is Matagorda?
It has 58 miles of beach, is what I see.
It's lovely. It's right. The beach is right behind me. It's right back there. East Bay is over here, and where the Colorado dumps into the Gulf of Mexico is where I'm going to go fish today at the jetties. You should come. You need to
I
come here.
should. We'll do an
Yes.
on-location podcast.
Oh my gosh, on the boat. That's my dream. I'm working on that
On
so hard.
on
Yes,
the
we do a
butt,
little
on the
on the
butt,
boat, on the
on the
butt,
butt.
on the
I'm
boat.
sorry, I'm talking I'm thinking about Nemo. Don't touch the butt.
I knew this was going to be fun. I'm so glad to finally have on the podcast because I know your card's been sitting in our place for like the last 2 years because my guy, Captain Ron, we were at the T3R Awards year before last, and he came home and
Oh,
he started pulling out the cards, and like he had more cards than me, and it's like, well, I saw yours and I said, "You did not." He goes, "Yeah, I talked to," he said, "Sonny's cool. He and I visited. We hung out for a little while." He said, "I like that guy." Yeah, it was pretty cool.
that's
So yes,
awesome.
yeah, so I'm so excited that we're gonna get to start this journey with you into Texas country music because you've been wowing us at T3Rs the last couple of years, and, you
Oh,
have a single out to Texas radio. I'm in love with Womanizer, and I actually I had the update from Texas Country Music Chart that came in over the weekend. You moved up 10 spots to 70 on that chart. So
oh.
it's getting, I mean, like, why not? Everybody loves it. So tell me about your first real
Oh.
release, your real single to Texas music and how that feels for you.
Well, I get chills. It's incredible. The thing is I've been kind of tinkering here and there. Not a lot of people know that like during the fly tour of the Dixie Chicks, my old band, we went on tour with them.
That's right. I
Okay.
remember that.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
heavens, yes.
And I
Yes.
recorded with Charlie Robeson on his
Mhm.
One in a Million record. And so that's kind of how it all started. We've done some stuff with Robert Rodriguez, which is not Texas country. I don't know what that is. He's a director. He just puts out stuff. But I've had friends in the business. And then I was I've been part of the Texas chapter for the Grammys for many, many years, maybe going back even, well, I've been a member for 20 something years, but I had a lot of friends in Texas country, just never had anything to give them. And we'd always get the same thing, we love what you do. We just wish we knew what you were saying, what you were singing. So it's exciting, and it's fun. And I was just talking to Corliss about this, how we're so
Mhm.
intertwined. And I live in New Braunfels. So New Braunfels, this is Trump country, this is polka country, this is, Germantown. They love the accordion. So we're kind of
Yes.
all intertwined in everything we do. So it, we used to say, this is an old radio personality. His name was Güero Polkas on KDA 1540, which is stations that they've been around for what, 50, 60 years, something like that. And they would always say, well, country is Tejano in Spanish, and Tejano is Tejano in English, and Texas country is, Tejano in English. So it's we kind of share the similar stories. So it's been fun. It's been exciting. I had no idea this was going to happen. I got with Abe Mack maybe 2 years ago, right before the T3R, maybe the beginning of the year, because T3R was in March. Might have been in January. We had worked on the song, but it's
Mhm.
been sitting there for a while. It's been sitting there for a
Wow.
while. And so it's just been great, and it's been fun. It's been exciting to meet so many new people, and you don't know what you don't know. And so I had no idea. I was just going. I came to the T3R. I had seen the award show. My friend Steve Trevino, who's, I don't know if you know who that, he's a comedian. He's doing very well. He said, "You need to meet AJ Vallejo." I was like, well, "Okay, sure, why not?" And I
Yes.
had no idea who AJ Vallejo was.
Oh,
And
love him.
and AJ's like, we had lunch. He said, "Yeah, why don't you come to this New Faces thing?" I said, "Okay." He said, "Bring your accordion. Maybe we'll get you on stage." very casually.
Well,
Like maybe, like he didn't say for sure. And I'm not a presumptuous person. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get on stage. I just and then one thing led to another. I was I was gonna go. I became a member, because you want people to take you serious. So
Mhm.
So I became a member, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna be there. Maybe we can do media. So there was a little bit of a roadblock there, like, well, we don't know because there's a deadline, and my friend Mitch Ballard had already been helping me from BMI. Mitch Ballard, he represents the BMI in Austin, and I said, "Do you know anybody at T3R?" He's like, "Sonny, I know everybody. What do you want to do?" So next thing I'm on the red carpet. Next thing you know, I'm doing media, and then before that, a year before that, Rico from Kinfo
Yes, that's
had duetted one of my viral videos, and I messaged him like, "Dude, that is so cool." And we gotta connect. We gotta connect because I saw him and I was like, "That's a Mexican Charlie Daniels." and I,
I'm
s-
telling you, yes.
yeah, and so all these things happened. It just so happened, it's so funny. He played in Bernie the day before the T3R, and my wife had bought me tickets to go see Rick Kinfo and Kevin Fowler. Just to go, it was gonna be our date night. And I messaged Rico because he's kind of hard to get a hold of sometimes, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna be at your show, by the way. I just wanted to maybe say hi to you." So he says, don't say hi to me, bring your accordion." I'm like, "What?"
Yes.
He's like, "Yeah." So I jump on stage with him, and then right before the show, he's like, Kevin Fowler, the band knows you're here. They may want you to play with them, so you should probably go over this other song. Oh, it was oh my gosh, Senorita Tequila, I think. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Dun-da-da-ba-da-ba-dum.
Senorita Umaspina.
Yeah,
Come and
no,
love me
más,
por favor.
yeah, and
I
then
wanna
and
be,
then
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I wanna da. So I learned it. I
You
kind of
sing it,
went
I'm
over
not gonna sing it. I'm
and
not gonna
da.
sing it.
I can only hum it.
You're one
Yeah,
and only Facho.
yeah. You only know about da. So I play with Rico, and I'm his plus one. He's like introducing me to the whole. He walks me inside Kevin Fowler's bus. My first interaction with Kevin Fowler is this, and Rico and I are sitting there talking. And he says, "Holy moly, it's a Mexican ZZ Top." I was like, okay, but it was such a blast, and everybody's been so welcoming, and you just you. I always say the world is your stage, and it truly is because I had no idea so many people were knew about Tejano or knew who
Mhm.
I was. I'd like, how do you know who I am? And they're like, we know who you are. I'm like, how? I mean, but so the way I explain it is this way is like, we're all going down 35 and it's just like switching lanes, because we're all in the music business, right? So it's
Right.
beautiful and I love it. And everybody's
Oh my
so,
gosh.
I'm waiting for the dark side I haven't, it's just been,
I'm not gonna go there. No, it's
I
like
mean,
like we talk about we're one big family. The Texas country music industry, everyone involved, it is like family. And anytime we all get together, like I
yeah.
like to call it, it's like class reunion, family reunion. I mean, especially at the awards because everybody can be there.
It,
It's time off. Everybody
it
comes together, and it's amazing. It's just amazing.
It is, and I love the T3R. What I love about that whole vibe is that it's a beautiful venue, number one,
Yes.
but it's so um it's so inviting to network, to meet for me because I got
Mhm.
to meet so many people, and on top of that, it was formal but casual all at the same time.
Exactly.
Like the dinner, like I told Tammy, I said, I feel like I was at a quinceanera or like a wedding because we went to
Yes.
get our food, and I'm like, but everybody's so it was a really cool vibe. I really enjoyed it, and I was just so grateful to be part of the this 14th annual. So
Yes.
the number 13 is my lucky number, by the way.
Oh, cool.
I was there the 13th annual, and
13.
I sat at table 313.
Wow, wow.
I know.
Well, yeah, and so I was with, hanging out at the Sheraton when we did all the down in the lobby,
Oh
all the
yeah.
play-in. Yes, that was fun. I got to see you there. Of course, I was running around talking to everybody because that's another moment we all have together, like hanging out and
Yes.
just visiting and chilling and getting your pajamas if you want to, whatever.
Well, yeah. What's her name? Bailey Ray. She calls me Flip Flop. She,
Really.
yeah, because I was walking into the hotel. She was all gussied up. And I looked at her and said, "Where's your flip-flops?" And she's like, so she was all dressed up, ready to go to the award show. And I think I had just gone there. I think we were we were gonna get there. Maybe I don't know why. Oh, it was the New Faces. And so
Yes.
she calls me flip-flop because we were just in
I love
flip-flops and
that.
shorts. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I'm like this all the time. Cut off shorts and flip-flops. That should
Well,
be a
see, you
song.
look I know, and that's like you could like live here. Like you would look like I put a shirt on, my one of my fishing shirts over my tank top. I have a black tank
Exactly.
top.
Yeah, exactly. And well, I live in New Braunfels. I mean, I'm here by the river. I'm all by all the rivers
Mhm.
and the hottest, coolest time in
In
Texas.
Texas, Schlitterbahn.
That's right.
Used to Hey, do you know how many times I had to play that commercial over the years in radio and give those tickets away? I'll never forget. And then, they pulled that jingle and they went to something else and we all missed it.
I
I
didn't know
missed
that.
that. They sure did, unless
I
they brought it back.
I didn't know
Okay.
that.
So let me ask you something. Okay, so what are you and Sundance up to at in the studio?
Ah, yes, Sundance. That's we wrote a song together called Hot Sauce. And that kind of all happened. It was so weird because I just had I call so I've known Alan Huff from Roger Krieger Band for many, many years, 20 years probably. We recorded on an album. We recorded this album called Polkas, Acordeones, and Gritos, and he's been following us ever since then with Joel Guzman, David Lee Garza, and we became friends over like Facebook, like, hey, dude, and we kept in touch. And then I've played with the Dos Borrachos maybe is it twice, maybe twice already. I just kind of got on stage with them.
Mhm.
So I met Stormy Cooper, the bass player,
Cool, cool,
Stormy
cool.
Cooper, and
Awesome.
so I just called Stormy. Text Alan one day. I said, "Hey, I want to meet Stormy. I want to talk to Stormy. I haven't been able to really connect with him. I just want to give him a call and say hello." And that's all I usually do. So I get on the phone with Stormy. Stormy's like, "Sonny," and I'm like, "Stormy," and we're both like
Funny,
weather names, right?
stormy, yes.
And then he says, "I need to get you with Sundance." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, who's Sundance?" It was Sundance. I didn't know. I know. I was like, "Pardon my, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. I don't know who he is." He's like, "Oh, Sonny, you got to meet him." I said, "Okay, I'll meet him. Yeah." And he said, "We
Yes.
got to get you together in the studio." I said, "You think he'll do it?" He's like, he starts telling me who he is. I'm like, "No way, dude. Are you serious?" He's like, "No, I'm serious." It's like, "Okay, well, sure, why not? I have a accordion. We'll travel."
Sure
So
do.
we get in the studio, and right like a week before, so we that within an hour, okay, we're gonna go to the studio April 16th. We're gonna be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. Sundance is gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Stormy's gonna be there. And then I thought it was just gonna be us three. And a week before that, Sundance had texted me, or even before that, we wanted to get together, but our schedules just didn't align. I was gonna go up to his place. We were gonna write. So he texts me like, dude, send me ideas. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to write about? And I said, well, we'll talk about me. We'll talk about what I do, or being I'm from the country. I really am.
Mhm,
I always say, I'm a redneck Mexican. I'm from the
mhm,
country. We make friends everywhere we go. My dad was an only child. If you make friends everywhere you go, you'll never be alone in life. And that's all we ever do is make friends. Musicians, we're not. Very few of us get rich from this, right? But we are rich of friends and music. Everywhere we go, we know people. And
mhm,
so and so it's
mhm,
talking about my story. It's talking about, what I mean, I'm doing what a lot of people never thought would be done. And I just didn't even know I was doing it. I just kind of showed up and said, "Hello, I'm here." And
love
and
it.
so and so Sundance shows up to the studio, and he's like, he brings a big old thermos of coffee with honey in it, and he is hot wired from the jump, and he makes me look low key. I'm like, dude, you're so crazy, and he's very rock and roll. It's just a good match because
Mhm,
we have the same energies, and I love his vibe and his talent, and he's such a great singer, and he's an amazing
mhm.
vocalist. So
Yes.
it's that guy is, I'll never forget, we were at the T3R, and he starts singing, Darling, don't do. I was like, we all, I was sending this to Kevin Fowler, Stephanie Urbina's there. We're all backstage sound checking. And this guy with the acoustic guitar, we're just like, everybody just silence. And they were just looking at him like,
Mhm,
holy
mhm.
moly.
Don't you
What a
love moments like that?
Oh my gosh. I mean,
Oh,
we couldn't have planned it that way. he's just that talented, and that song is so beautiful. And we're in the studio, and he's like, back to the studio, right? We're back in the studio. He says, "Okay, let me do a scratch vocal for you on this song," right? And I'm like, "Okay," because he wrote it. Like he kept basically all my everything I sent him, he put into a song. And and he's like, "Let me sing a quick scratch." He sings a scratch like in one take, nails it. And he's like, "All right, Sonny, you're next." I'm like, "Really? Are you serious?"
Have you ever wondered how artists like Treaty Oak Revival, Red Clay Strays, and Aaron Watson maintain the high quality and high demand for their merchandise? CH Lone Star Promo is the answer. Created in Texas to serve Texas artists, and they're currently offering 15% off on all merch orders from musicians. Visit chlonestarpromo.com to get started and tell them Texas Toast sent you.
I was reading the other day that it takes at least $1 million to break an artist. That's a ton of change, and it can feel overwhelming. But with social media leveling the playing field, you just need an effective strategy to release your music. Check out Release Rocket to ensure your single does not die after release day. You've already put time, effort, and tons of money into writing and recording your album. Let the guys at Release Rocket keep your new release alive.
I'm the type of person that, you know, uh, I that stuff doesn't intimidate me. It inspires me
Mhm.
because guys like that get the best out of you, and they pull the best out of you, and they make you better. Like the saying goes, you surround yourself with those you want to be like, and before you know it, you'll be that. And so
Mhm.
he's such, I mean, I almost never want to record without him anymore because I know if he says that's it, you're good, it's good.
Right.
And I love him. And so we've worked on that song. We've worked on a few other songs, and I'm like, dude, I want you there. Like I want you there all the time. You're my guy. And so I'm so grateful that he even agreed to work with me. And it's such a blessing. Can you imagine? Just a year ago, I was just dreaming of being on that stage, and here we are. And it's been
Oh, yeah.
great.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of stage and stage presence, first of all, were you, like, born with an accordion? Like, were you, like did you come out as a baby with a little baby accordion?
Actually,
You're
I've never
so
liked the accordion.
talented and so gifted.
I never liked the accordion.
You didn't?
You know what we used to do with the accordion? We used
What?
to grab, me and my sister would get an accordion. Let's just pretend this is the accordion, right? We grab the accordion and lay it down on the belly and pretend we were playing, it was store. We were playing tiendita. We're like,
Oh,
I never,
stop
we never,
it.
yeah, we were little kids, my younger sister and I. And it wasn't until I was about 17. And then all of a sudden, this machine, like, how do I make this work? How does this work? And I started like dissecting it, but I play other instruments. I play guitar, bajo
Mhm,
sexto,
yes.
bass, a
Mhm.
little bit of drums, a little bit of keyboards, a little bit of sax, and of course I've been singing my whole life. So, and I'm kind of a rock and roll guy. Like I grew up with like Motley Crue, Metallica, Poison, White
Right.
Snake, all these rock bands. So like, remember that scene from Almost Famous when that little kid journalist walks out to the crowd, and I don't remember, and there's like it's like a theater full of people. Like that's what I see all the time, no matter where we're
Yes.
at, even if we're playing for tables and chairs.
Mhm. Mhm.
I see that.
Yes.
So that's in my head all the time. That's who I'm playing for. My imaginary, now I'm sounding cuckoo, right? My imaginary crowd, right? So, but when we went on tour with the Dixie Chicks, I'd run across all the way across the stage, all the way this way, all that way. So I kind of still have that mentality, that rock and roll mentality. So that's where all that energy comes from. And even when I was in my 20s, uh I mean, I was like the lightest I ever was like 173, and I was still trying to go as hard as I could because I wanted to get that rush because it's all natural. I don't, I've been a straight shooter my whole life. So I want to get that rush, those endorphins, right? And
Yes.
and so
Mhm.
that's kind of the vibe. And when well, see, the other thing is when I used to practice accordion, we lived in a very small house, like maybe right now would be considered an efficiency, right? With my dad and his godfather built a little small house, paid for. He said, "Son, it's not much, but it's paid for." And
Mhm.
and and
Mhm.
so we grew. I didn't know what air conditioning was. I didn't even know I was poor till I wasn't poor. Does that make any sense? I didn't know. So I
Totally.
would play,
Totally makes sense. Yes.
yeah, and I played accordion, and my mom's like, "It's so loud." So I would go to the restroom and I would practice in the mirror. So when you practice in the mirror, you're watching your fingers, you're not doing. So a lot of guys you see they're looking down, or guitar players they're looking
True.
down.
Very true.
You're
Yes.
looking down, right? So I didn't do any of that. I would practice. And so when I first came out, everybody thought, if you look at videos from like 1996, 97, I'm playing the Alamo Dome. Everybody thought I had been playing my whole life. And I had only been playing for like 2 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I practice a lot. I mean, I still practice as much as I can. But now I'm dad, and we got bills and
Oh, yeah.
mortgages, car
Yeah.
payments.
Okay, speaking of dad, you have got, I mean, and especially, okay, so you are so athletic. I mean, like you could be a pro athlete, you could go be a cheerleader. I watch you on the stage and it's like, gosh dang, how did he jump like that? It's like, I bet you're like the coolest dad at school. I bet like, I mean,
I
cause
have
like you're
fun.
just, I bet I bet your kids, like friends, like love you.
Yeah, my kids don't like it. They're like, why does everybody want to come talk to you? Because I'm a big kid myself. And I love kids. Number one, I love kids. I love
Mhm.
people. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a elementary
Mhm.
teacher. And so I really love the school system. And then my older son, he's special needs. So
Oh,
volunteer at the school, and, like Wednesday is field day. So I'll be at field day, and
fun.
my baby's 8 now, but so I'll be with him. And so, but I just love being around kids. Maybe because I didn't have a childhood. Like I've been the musician since I can remember, since I was 3, banging on chairs and screaming off the top of my lung at my dad's,
Mhm.
shows. So, he paid me $5 a night since I was.
Cool.
He started paying me $5 a night when I was 5 years old, and he would tell me, "You're a professional musician. You're getting paid for this. This is your job." And then don't. He said he'd like, don't ask me to go to parties, football games, skating parties. If this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do. So he taught me at a very young age, this is a music business. You have to be committed. You have to see it through. You have to follow through. No holidays. Don't kiss all that goodbye. I was like, okay. I was like, whatever. So yeah, I love kids. I love to have fun with kids. I think that there aren't enough male support. There's not enough
Mhm.
male support in the school system. And so when I was really considering being a teacher, I actually started driving a school bus for New Braunfels School District maybe 20 years ago. And
Wow.
I would drive, but so I was a sub driver, but I had friends that were like, they were on the district police department, and I
Mhm.
would stop and I would text, "Hey, meet me at the high school at this time." So I would take out the biggest bully on the bus, and after that they'd be like, "Oh man, this guy doesn't play." And
Oh
and and
boy.
but then when you do that, you bring in the reins and then you let it loose a little bit, then they love you for it.
Yes.
So I would, and I loved it because the kids were listening to all the new stuff, and I'd be like, "What are you listening to? Let me see, let me hear," and I'd keep up with all the trends. I knew what was coming down the pipeline before anybody else did. It was
Wow.
fun.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. I love these stories. Now let me ask you, do you have you're planning on releasing an EP, right?
I am. Yes, yes. We are.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
we are. I want to call it outside the box. Pun
Okay.
intended. Pun intended. Because this is way outside of what I've ever done. And I'm an accordion player, so it's kind of a play on words. It may not be called that, it may be called
Oh
tacos and
yeah.
whiskey. I don't know.
Now I get it outside the
Ah,
oh, I get it.
yeah,
Took a
yeah,
minute. Yes.
yeah, yeah. I should have been in
There's
marketing.
so many meanings that could be getting outside, your comfort zone outside the box. I like to get outside the box. And I always say color outside the lines. Who cares? Just get outside the
Yeah,
box. Yes.
absolutely. And this whole endeavor has been, I think not many people would dare to do this, and because it's fear of the unknown, right? Fear of,
Yes.
well, are they going to accept me? Are they going to like what I'm doing? And it took Abe Mack, you know, pushing me. I said, I want you to come and record Womanizer with me. I want you to coach me. But he's like, he pushed me over the edge because I was already doing some country stuff on my own, like playing, and I had covered some stuff. Like Augie Myers is a friend of mine, so I covered some of his songs, but I just didn't feel comfortable yet. And now, I mean, it's just now I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, come on, bring it on. Like,
Yes. I
You know,
know,
it's
and we're all sitting here saying, "Bring it on." Can't wait to
uh,
hear the new EP. Can't wait to hear another single drop when you get to that point. I'm excited. I'm
thank you.
really excited. We get to start this journey with you with the, kicking it off here at the podcast and then seeing you at the awards as well. And I believe we'll be seeing you in November at Texas Country Music Awards.
Yes, we are kicking that thing off, and I'm
That's
so
fun.
stoked.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I will see you and interview on the red carpet, and I'm excited about that. That'll be fun. Yes.
It sure is. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm so thankful to Linda Wilson.
Uh-huh.
She's been so gracious to me, and it's been, we're, the music business. Every sector is. I mean, it's generally the same, but there are also, things that we don't know, people that we don't know, things
Mhm.
we don't know
Mhm.
all the do's and don'ts, right? So she's been so kind to me, her and Tammy and
Yes.
Corliss, all these people that I kind of touch base with from the beginning, right? And so and now they have a Tejano category. I can't believe that. That's just crazy.
I know. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. And yes, speaking of Corliss, that's my sister. We are two peas in a pod. Love Corliss.
Yeah, so I
When we get together, it's such a big time and it's such a joy when I do get to see her once or twice a year at the awards. It's just, oh, it's so much fun.
she's a good vibe. She's just a good vibe altogether. Her and Adam and her mom and just everybody that's with
Oh,
them.
yes, I love her
You know,
mom so much. Oh,
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
she's so
See,
sweet.
again, and so there you go again. That's our family. That's our Texas country family. We're just
Absolutely.
all together in this.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I've been in the business for a long time, and it's just it's incredible what y'all have. It's something very special. And I know a lot of people are watching, and I know that I mean even I've even heard some, Nashville podcasts talk about how there's something going on in Texas that everybody's
Yeah, yeah,
watching.
hell, yeah, yeah. Oh,
People are
yes.
watching. It's so
Hmm.
crazy. And I just kind of happen to be in the middle of that whole thing. I know there's a lot of Latinos in the business, and I hadn't even
Hmm.
realized that,
Hmm.
and that's kind of cool too. I'm a little concerned about that because I don't want to be part of a trend and then not be of it. So to me, it just so happened that I kind of fell into it at the same time, so uh, we just love to make music. If I just love music in general. I recorded a rock in Espanol song about, oh my gosh, maybe 12 years ago. And I was like, I want to do a whole rock in Espanol record, like Mana, kind of that kind of deal. But it's just because I love music. I just love all kinds of music. You know,
Mhm. Well,
that's what we do.
I know. I love that you're doing the Texas music. You're going to get that out to us. I'm so happy you've been on the podcast. And is there anything in particular that maybe let's see, where can everybody find you? I mean, I know you're all over social media. You have tons of followers, but just in case we've got some new people wanting to jump on, where
Yeah.
can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they can start with the website, sunnysauceda.net. We are on Facebook / Sunny Sauceda. We have a band page, Sunny Sauceda, Facebook band page. We're on Instagram, Sunny y Todo Eso. We're on TikTok. TikTok is where I'm really the strongest. That's my alter ego, Saucy McDickens. That's what they call me.
I love it. Saucy.
That's what they call me. I'm like 40 pounds lighter right now. I'm trying to not find it. That's why I came back from the gym. And but that's content, it's interesting because um I was very reluctant in the beginning. My daughter got me into TikTok, and now I need a whole freaking podcast for myself because I'm so long-winded. I've turned into my father. My dad I would ask him one little question and it was a whole story. And I'm like, Dad, it was a yes or no question. He's like, well, yes, but and so now I'm
I
finding
know.
myself, yeah. So like, but I think with time, I have a lot more to say, and with life experience, it just kind of comes natural.
Mm.
Plus, I'm a closet broadcaster. I love broadcast. I really enjoy it, and I study broadcasters.
Oh, oh.
You're like, oh,
Hope you're not studying right here because
I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I feel that if I had got into broadcasting, I would have really had a lot of fun with it.
Mhm.
It's just interesting. And then to interview people, I just have never really interviewed people, so that's a whole other task. Because I think about what would I ask myself, and I'm like, man, I don't know what I would ask myself. You know, about the Grammys, about the Tejano Music Awards, about the Tejano Hall of Fame, or how was it? You said so many things. Like the typical questions are, what how do you, where do you see yourself 5 years from now,
Right,
or
right.
what's next for you, right? Things like that.
Mhm. And
But there's some
yeah.
questions. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Mhm.
just but it's an interesting field, and I know it's very demanding, and I know that I have a lot of program director friends in Tejano that, and I hear the same stories. It's and you know it, you've lived it most likely. It's
Mhm.
more work and the same pay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't even wanna talk about that with radio, but I think the most important part about broadcasting them ultimately is being able to listen.
Yes.
It's listening to your it because there's a lot of times, I mean, I prep a lot and I go through, sometimes it's an hour or 2 prep and sometimes it takes 30, 45 minutes, or whatever. Because sometimes I'll just start going down rabbit holes. Like I'll just find something and I'm like, okay, now I need to go back and listen to this song and then look at this. But ultimately, when you're listening and you're just rolling with the flow of your guests because they've taken such precious time to be on the podcast or back when radio interviews, and it's like I want you to be heard. I want people to walk away from this podcast with
Yeah.
you and I and go, "Man, I feel like I know Sonny. Let me tell you about him." It's like,
Ah,
"This is
yeah.
your time. This is your time, not mine. I'm just here like kinda like navigating those waters like when I'm on the boat." Just, So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I
Mhm,
appreciate that. It's so much fun, and everybody's been so sweet and so nice, and it's a breath of fresh air, and
mhm,
you get to meet all these new people and connect, and it's just I just had no idea. It's a very overwhelming feeling. Saturday night, Corliss and I were talking, and she says to me, "Sunny Sauceda," and she says, "Texas country artist," and I'm just like, I just got chills, and I was like,
yes.
because
It's official, yes.
it's official, like, and
Corliss said
it's,
it, it's official.
oh my gosh, and it's just, you know, when when you it's something that you're dreaming for, you're shooting for, and it starts to happen,
Mhm,
it's surreal. And the thing is, yes, I've been in the music business for a long time, but it's different because, you know, a lot of my friends in Tejano, they do record some country.
mhm,
But it's different from releasing a country song on Tejano radio than releasing a country song to Texas radio
yeah,
and then actually getting played and actually getting interviewed. So what maybe Texas country artist that started in Texas country, oh, it's just another interview. Like, no, 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 it's not just another interview. It's a whole different thing. So it means a lot to me. And
yes.
you know, at this stage in the game, some people are jaded, some people are cynical, and
Mhm.
and it's hard not to. But I'm that positive guy. I've always been a positive person.
I
I've
know, I
just,
can see that. I can
yeah.
see that with you. You're the kind of person that you wanna be around. That yes, always
Ah, thank you.
positive. I could see that.
I
Even
am.
from the distance that we didn't get to meet, like, up close and
Yeah,
personal or
yeah,
talk, but yes. Well,
yeah.
it has been fabulous
Thank
interviewing
you.
you. I'm so excited, be following along, can't wait till the next song drops, and, man, I know you'll come back and see us again, and I'll be seeing you on the road, or I'll see you down the road in November for sure at the Texas Country
Absolutely.
Music Awards. So thank you so much, Sunny Sauceda, for coming on the podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all so much, and we will for sure see you down the road with some hot sauce. But for now, we're doing the womanizer thing, and I can't thank you enough for having me. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything you're doing for the Texas country industry.
Thank you so much.